Hi, I'm Jacqueline Coates for Paint Blooms. Thanks for joining me again. And I'd like to talk about translucent and opaque paint. So how can you tell what translucent paint is and how can you tell if it's opaque? And I'll talk a little bit more about what both those things mean in just a sec. Well, basically on the professional quality paints, they've actually got a little square here at the back. I'm not talking about the one at the bottom, I'm talking about the one at the top here, where it's got the qualities of the paint. When the square is solid like that, it means that it's opaque. Here's the titanium white. We can see the titanium white there, and we can see that that is opaque. And then you can, often is the case with pinks and reds. This is quinacridone red, for example, and it's clear in the square. That means that you can see through the paint. You can see layers that you've painted underneath coming through that colour. Here's another one. This is permanent rose. This is another colour I use a lot. Permanent rose, that's also clear, so you can see through it. And for reds, it's the cadmium red, any of the cadmium red, light, medium or deep, that is opaque, so that's really handy to know. And the perylene red has got a clear one. I'm pretty sure it's the Purell red is the other one that's opaque. So I'm just going to talk you through what is the difference between an opaque and a transparent paint, so it won't be a mystery to you. And then you know what to do in certain situations. Okay, so on this side we're going to do the opaque paint. Now, the opaque paint has larger particles in it. So when you apply it, just so this is your canvas here, when you apply it on your canvas, you can't see through to the bottom. Okay, so this is what we're applying to. It's almost like getting a large gravel pieces or fine gravel pieces delivered in your driveway. The fine gravel pieces will probably blow around and you'll be able to see the original ground colour through it. So this is the fine one I'm going to do now. Let's imagine I'm putting the paint onto the canvas. Okay, so it's suspended in a fluid, and the particles are a lot finer and smaller, and therefore we can see through it. You can't see through, you can't see through that. You can see through that. Now I'm going to demonstrate this for you so that you completely get it. And why should this matter to you as well? Now I've just taken a little bit out of a magazine or a newspaper here, which has got some black and white type on it. It doesn't really matter what it says, it's just something that's pre-prepared as black type. Now if your paint's translucent, like the quinacridone red, Q red as we often call it in the workshop, see how you can see through that? That's a really great demonstration that that paint is translucent. So if you're in doubt, just run your finger across it like that. And here is the cadmium red. We see that it's got the black square there. When I go like this, somebody's put a bit of yellow in the bottom. Hopefully it wasn't me. Here we go. See how we can't see what's underneath there? It's just, it's blocked it out because the particles are bigger and we can't quite see through it. So if you've done an underpainting and you're trying to paint with the translucent paint on top, it's not going to block out what's underneath. In fact, it's going to mix and it's going to create a darker color like that. Whereas the opaque paint will just go in and cover it up. So another tip that we do is when we're painting is actually, rather than do the underpainting in black and white, sometimes we use burnt umber and white, or burnt sienna and white is fine too. And it means that you've actually got a warmer base on your paintings if you're going to use loads of deep pinks or deep reds. For example, paintings such as this one, I've had to use a burnt umber and white base because using loads of reds, all that underpainting is going to show through with a lot of the colours I want to use, which are also transparent. So a really great tip is to make sure that you use burnt umber or burnt sienna plus white on your underpainting with anything that's got loads of deep pinks and reds. And then you won't run into strife so much. And that's a little bit about opaque and translucent paint.